emoji picture shit. This ain't a dream, we really live this shit. Don't intervene, yo, we with this shit. That's where the most high, we the most lit.
And we are back.
We're back.
Hey. 3 half-baked. Hope you give it to him.
Last time on Silver Screen Breakdown.
Yes.
Our boy Thurgood and his homies are getting into a lot of mischief now. They have taken over the town. They started selling weed to Sir Smokes a lot, and he makes a video about them, and Samson gets wind of them. Samson says, get over to my lair, and tells them, I want $20,000 a week.
No!
Or you're dead.
Yeah, you know, he did. I mean, that's kind of harsh. That was like, he gave him no leeway to live.
Hey, shoot the link to Peacock. If Peacock, if you're free, join us for the last act.
Yeah. Peacock's here, isn't he? He's joining.
Yeah, he was in the chat. I'm like, you know what? Let's bring Peacock. That's our guy.
If it wasn't Jamaican, why would I be wearing this hat? Oh, that's
yeah,
he might have been our first guest, huh? On the Silver Screen Breakdown, Peacock.
When we did Paid in Full.
Really?
No, when we did
not Paid in Full, but Blood In, Blood Out.
Blood In, Blood Out, yeah.
Who's your first customer or audience member?
No, first.
No. He's been rocking with us on the fantasy joints and for a couple of years now, and he's just a hell of a guy. Like, so you know what I mean. But he's also a Mexican American, so it was kind of cool to bring him on. You know what I mean? I was the only Filipino guy on that, but it was kind of tight because then. Both Peacock and Huss, what they do share in common is that they're hella light-skinned as fuck, like, you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? The darker-skinned Mexicans are in their family are always gonna like make fun of you and like, you know, you're the guy, you're the light skin, you're the wetter or whatever they would call you, you know what I mean?
And you were the only Filipino around?
No, on that channel. I mean, on that panel when we were doing the Blood In, Blood Out.
Yeah. Classic.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, but it's funny because my cousin growing up, one of my older cousins, his wife was Mexican, so my cousins are a couple. His kids are half Mexican and whatnot, and like I remember watching that with them, like on VHS. You know what I'm saying? Because I was probably like maybe in the 3rd, 4th grade at the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right on.
Chi-Chi's out.
And this is where everything changes. Now they got to figure out how to get some extra money. And of course it's the guy, like he's the smart guy with the plan. He was like, they're trying to figure out what they should do. And he was like, man, who said it? I think Scarface was like, man, Brian, why don't you get that lazy bitch, the guy, to throw in some money? He's like, definitely let him stay here long enough. And he was like, I don't know, man. And he's like, oh, it's Thurgood's boy or like something. I forget how the combo goes. And then he gets up, but the guy gets up, goes to the bathroom. And Thurgood's like, hey, the guy, seeing as how we don't know who you are ever going to move out? He was like, Thurgood, I'll be fine. He was like, well, you need to worry about, we need to figure out how to get more money. And you need to go in and rob the place. What do you say? Rob the place blind, the science lab. Go rob it blind for all the weed. And then we get our next hat tip to a movie. Scarface has got the dead presidents. Not the face paint like dead presidents. And they roll up on their fucking bikes and stuff too. They're fucking goofballs.
With some fucking paper bags.
Yeah, with some paper bags.
The funniest though is when they go through the door. That's supposed to like.
What's up? I'll be right back.
I mean, what does he expect? He goes through it and sets an alarm off.
Yeah, he's like, this door's never locked. There's a smoke weed here all the time. He's like, oh, I didn't say the alarm wouldn't go off.
Right
and
back.
then it's funny because when the cops and them show up, he just. That's acting like he was cleaning up this motherfucker.
Because he was dressed in like his uniform, right? Like that was even more stupid.
I think that's what he's
doing the mime stuff. No, at least Brian got away, yo. And then he jumps. Oops. And, he doesn't even know the cops are there. He's like, hey, you guys. The cops, get down on your knees. And, hey, and we got our man Peacock in the house.
Hey, what's up, guys? What's up, Nelson?
Hey, Peacock. Hey, man.
How's it
Good to see
going?
you.
What's up? Hey,
Well,
Bogey.
well, on a
Oh,
Friday
man,
night.
let's get Peacock on this joint.
Yeah, cool. Thanks for having me on, man. I've been enjoying the first couple of acts, and the kids are actually not here, and the wife is away doing some other stuff. So, I mean,
Perfect
why not
timing.
jump on? Yeah,
What a way
great.
to start a long weekend off, right? What a
Yeah,
way.
exactly.
I
Good time.
felt it. I felt it in the force. I was like, man, we gotta have Peacock.
Yeah, one of my favorite movies. Like, I didn't have to rewatch this one or anything. Going straight off the dome with all the quotes. Probably, most of this movie is a really, really good one. Like I said, my brother-in-law actually purchased it on VHS probably in like '99 or something like that, and I ended up wearing out that tape. So, hey, what's up, Derek? So
Back when the tips is a stretch, right?
exactly, yeah. So
That's right.
a quotable movie, good stuff. I even one year, I think it was 8th grade, I went as Scarface. When he's doing the whole dead presidents thing for Halloween to school. So nobody got it, because 8th grade stoner movie. Nobody, not a lot of people clicking, but I was.
Classic.
Right on.
And so yeah, then they get busted by the cops, and so then they're in the interrogation room, and come on, what are your guys' jobs? We're detectives. We'll detect. Come on, ask us questions. Is what do you know about this Mr. Nice Guy?
Ask me.
Neither here nor there, but we could bring you Samson. And then they say he's gonna wear a wire. I don't like the way that this plan is going. And but yeah, when they finally go there, they go to Samson's spot, and they're in the van. You want to give us the lead up, Peacock? What's Thurgood's genius plan?
Well, he's like, well, since they're kind of nervous. He hasn't, they can't go in there going in all cool and straight. Samson's gonna know what's up. So they got to get high.
Yeah.
And it's funny. Brian, he's such an idiot. He was like, Thurgood, that was an excellent idea. And Scarface got to yell at him, just smoke it, yo.
Just smoke it, yo. Yeah, I think I've said that one plenty of times. There's been times where you're standing in a circle with some friends and he's talking and it's like, hey, just smoke it, yo.
And especially, so the whole plan is they're wearing a wire, and they got to get Samson to like say whatever he's selling. They got to give him the 20,000 that they owe him, plus they got an extra 10, and they need to buy whatever other drugs. And Brian, just so goofy, hey Samson, you know where we can get some cocaine?
Yeah, they can't use slang words, right?
Right, yeah, and he's like, oh, the candy, huh? And he's like, no, I'd really like to get some cocaine.
Randy, or I don't know what he says.
Is that stuff heroin?
Yeah, he's like, this is all the cocaine we get for 10 G's, B? But we have other products.
I love that scene.
You must be the dumbest dealers in the dope game.
Straight savages. And then their code word is abracadabra. They're supposed to say abracadabra when it's time for the cops to come in and save them.
Casually slide that in conversation.
Cops are high as fuck at this point. Like he's saying, like before they get out, Thurgood gives them a letter to can you if anything happens to us, can you please give this to Mary Jane Popman? They're like, whatever, get in there. And then they're reading his letter as they're all high as fuck, and they're like, abracadabra.
Abracadabra.
Reading it. You're all the Mary Jane I'll ever need. Just like dying laughing because Thurgood's so fucking corny. Then they rip Thurgood's shirt off. And that's when it happens. But Thurgood's crazy. It's like, fellas, let's beat these bitches. Then they just get into the big old fight with the old school Batman music in the back.
The 60s. Yeah, the Adam West.
What do you think about that, Nelly? Did you get a kick out of hearing that theme song in the back when they get in the fight?
Yeah, typical. It's hilarious.
That's actually used earlier in the movie. I think like a small clip with the weed symbol when it, they changed scenes. So it's like,
yeah,
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
I did.
Yep. Another hat nod to another classic movie. And well, I guess that one was the TV series, not even the movie, but just classic characters. And
Well, there was a movie as well, but yeah, it's not a very good Batman movie.
for sure.
I didn't
And
know they were doing those nods to other movies, so you brought it up. I had no
Yeah.
idea. And I've seen those other movies too.
Well, yeah, even the bank heist thing, Scarface is painted up like in Dead Presidents, that the movie had just come out a few years before. So it's...
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. Here's when he did the mime real quick. He's like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Keep your hands up for real.
Oh man.
And one of the funniest parts is still always going to be Thurgood's rolling around with the chick, and then or Scarface, I can't remember who it was, and her boob pops out, and he's like, "Oh damn, your titty!" And everything stops. The music stops. Everybody looks. What? That's titty.
Even I looked more than once. Yep.
Somebody jumped up from, I think it was Brian, comes up from behind the couch like, "Oh, that's a titty." Or then Chappelle's like, "That's a titty."
Yeah. Fully, man. That's a complete fully.
Titty.
And then it's funny, you see Samson when he sees the boob. His reaction was to cover his eyes and go, "Ah!" That was super goofy.
He knocks her out, right? He throws a punch to the girl with the exposed boob.
It was like that killed the momentum for them. But yeah, I mean, they had the drop on everyone, and then Scarface like, "Yo, this for Killer B," and then goes up like he's gonna rush Samson, but Samson gets up.
He stands up.
Gets up and pulls out the gun. What'd you think about that, Nelly? Big twist, huh?
Yeah, I had no idea that Samson was going to stand up. I thought, oh man, the guy's in a wheelchair. He stands up. I was laughing at that part. I was like, what? Stand up. That was good.
Yeah, he's like, "I thought you're in a wheelchair," and he was like, "We're all crippled in some way."
Yeah. I tell you, the one-liners are good, man.
And still, one of the funniest parts is always going to be, "Okay, I'm going to take your little Mexican friend here, and I'm going to kill him."
I'm Cuban B.
That's all he cared about. Just get it right. I'm Cuban B. Yes, Cuban.
Like, yes, Cuban B.
That's all Scarface cares about. Just don't label him incorrectly. He's Cuban B. Oh man. And then of course, just out of nowhere, Brian, "Jerry, we really need you," and throws the bag of sand. And Jerry Garcia comes out and lays out Samson with the guitar. "Sucks to be you, man." Nelly, what was going through your mind when
hold on a second. That part with the guitar when Garcia shows up, was that an ode to Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures? Kinda.
I don't know.
Because Bill and Ted's, they always had the little air guitar thing.
Yeah.
Remember?
Right. Yeah.
So I thought maybe it seemed kind of like that to me.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. It came out of left field and it saved the day, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
And
and we're talking about Elvis too, back in True Romance, right?
Yep.
It just seemed like a combination of the two. I picked that up, kind of that how they brought Garcia in kind of briefly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was involved earlier also when they first get high and they're inside the convenience store and he's like, "I feel," that's Kid Brian, and he's like, "I feel like Jerry Garcia is playing in my head."
Yeah.
And it's like it's like a zoomed in version of his inside his inner ear canal or whatever, and he's like, laying down a riff inside his head.
He's always had the connection. And what was it then? So then Dave Chappelle's got the crossbow, no, he knocks him out, and then that's when the cops finally come in after he's knocked out, and they come in, they're all high and giggling and shit.
Stick him up, woo, or whatever.
Nobody move. So stupid, but that was enough to get Kenny out of jail, and Kenny's virgin ass was saved.
They actually apprehended him, and they were so high.
Yeah.
A little dicey on that one.
It was all the other guys. They were just, they're the detectives. They're not doing any of the grunt work.
There was a full on like SWAT team that came in with him or something.
Yeah, you had the boys in blue. And Crispy said, "Sucks to be you, man." Wasn't he really high in that scene? He had to be, man. He does that same laugh, that or whatever, however the laugh goes. Yeah, he's savage. Had to be high during those parts.
Yeah, Chappelle was just brilliant. This movie was just, you know, it's crazy that it flopped the way it did in theaters. I guess because of the way the production kind of looks. I mean, the on film, it doesn't seem like a real high quality like look to it. I guess you guys were describing it in the first couple of acts. Like the budget was 8 mil, but it just didn't seem. It seemed like it would have been less. So you kind of get that vibe from it, you know, kind of like a B movie or whatever. But
Yeah,
it's hilarious still.
yeah, I totally agree because the especially when you see where they live, the colors they use is so bright with those neon colors and stuff.
Yeah.
It does make it look like like a B movie. It probably was a B movie, but it makes
I
it look
really,
yeah.
I really feel like movies like this that are kind of like they're made for a subculture, you know, like that's why they become cult classics, you know, because like the subculture grows, you know, over time. I mean, Scarface, I said, was like a huge flop, but it's like one of the most like iconic movies like ever, especially in pop culture. And like this one, you know, like, yeah, it's a whole movie about weed. Like, I mean, I bet Pineapple Express did better than this did like 10 years later, but probably still not that much better, right? Because it's like it's all about the subculture, and who knows, a lot of people in, I don't know, just Midwest everywhere, maybe they just can't relate, you know, to the weed culture, and so they're not going to go see it.
I didn't know Scarface was a flop
Yeah,
in the theaters. I didn't know that.
yeah. I
Hmm.
mean, it wasn't. I guess it wasn't a flop in the hood, right? Like it wasn't a flop in like the neighborhoods where like people could connect with that. Like even in Paid in Full, when they have they show like the scene, like, oh, when Scarface hit the streets, you know, we were all going to see that and
Yeah.
shit. And but yeah, it did. It did pretty bad in the. Let me go pull that up.
Well, even Paid in Full's done very well since on Netflix and since it came out.
Yeah,
They do that well, but it wasn't showing in that many theaters.
I mean,
yeah.
obviously,
See, I
when
mean,
it came out, I saw it like when I was like old enough to kind of watch stuff like that. So I was probably like 14. So
Mhm.
like around 2000 or whatever. But I saw it on double VHS, like it was two VHS tapes. So it was like, you know, it was so long. You had to watch it on the VCR
For
that way.
Scarface, you're saying,
said
right?
the budget was 37 mil and brought back 66 mil in the box office. That's Scarface.
It was better than
It
losing
also
money.
came out right around Christmas. Probably, I mean, maybe not the best time for a
Not a
game.
great Christmas.
I remember watching it around Christmas time too. Not when it came out, but just like we rented it or whatever.
Yeah, but these
You're right. Yes,
movies, just,
double VHS tapes.
yeah, for sure,
Anything
it's
over like 2.5 hours, you got a
so
second tape.
fucking long, for sure. And so at the end of the movie, we get here after they save Kenny and everything, and then it cuts to the I'm not sure which one that is. I'm assuming like the Brooklyn Bridge, right?
Yeah,
Which Brooklyn Bridge, right?
yeah.
And she was like, "Are you Mary Jane?" Comes up to Thurgood, and he's like, "Hi," and she was like, "Are you?" And he's like, "Well, a little bit from yesterday." But then he has to give up the weed. Says he's going to give it up, and he starts talking to the
Too
joint.
bad.
Come on, just smoke one more time, old time's sake. Like, she's looking. All right, all right, all right. No, I can't do it. God damn, and that throws it. And then it ends. And then it ends. I bet I know what all you guys are gonna say. Old Thurgood sold out. He's like, I love weed, but not as much as I love pussy. And that's how it ends. Now, there's an alternate ending where it's like the exact same thing kind of happens, but except like right at the end, he starts running away from her. He like pushes her, and then he runs back and he's like, "I'm coming, weed!" Like jumps over the bridge.
He jumps over the bridge.
Yeah, it's in the they recorded an alternate ending.
I did not know about that. That's something
Did you
I'm
like it?
surprised. I didn't know about.
Oh, well, I mean,
Better?
I don't know. I mean, there's a reason why it didn't make the movie, right? The other one is just, you know, I love weed, but not as much as I love pussy. You know, it's just a classic line. So I don't know. The other one, a little bit too goofy that he was gonna jump over the bridge for like one joint or jump out to go get the one joint. Yeah,
Yeah, you can always go get some more weed somewhere else.
whatever real deal.
Oh, that's cool, man.
But yeah, the DVD. I mean, they have a couple deleted scenes on there, which none are really good. Like, I mean, there's a reason why they didn't make it in there.
And that explains that movie for me was I owned it on VHS, so I didn't see like the DVD features. You know what I mean? I don't think I switched over to DVD until about 2002. Personally, my dad got me one for Christmas, so I got like a surround sound with a DVD player, a new TV, and it was still one of those box TVs back in those days, like that Magnavox or something. I have no idea, but I was real cool with the long wired setup, like all strung up in my room. But yeah, then I think I got movies like How High and like Super Troopers and stuff like that later on DVD, so I got to enjoy the features for that. But yeah, I miss VHS sometimes. Nothing like it.
Yeah, those big clunky tapes. I like them too.
Yeah, they take up way too much space.
They definitely do. Yeah, that's true. But I just like that granulated kind of, I don't know, or like when the tape starts and then there's tracking. You know, I don't know. This gives me that old school nostalgic vibe. But anyways, this one, like I said, I enjoyed. I wore it out. Like, so I when I'm remembering some of these scenes, I'm remembering parts that I would rewatch and rewind that were kind of worn out and stuff, and that would happen, some distortion. But good movie.
Before we get into grades and everything, there's so many cameos. I mean, dozens of cameos in here. I want to hear each of your favorite. And yeah, let's start with you, Peacock. Who is your favorite cameo out of everybody in the movie?
Yeah, tough man. Like you said, there's a lot of them. I'm trying to just run through them all again real quick because I know that there's a big section where there's a series of them one after another, like Vinny Garofalo and like you know John Stewart and Stephen Baldwin and all that. But yeah, the Bob Saget one is classic, right? Yeah, I'd probably have to go with that one because it's most quotable. And like you said, the him and then the other guy in the audience who's just yelling out stuff like right after. So he's like, "You're in here for some marijuana," and you know, and then he's like, "I used to suck dick for coke," and then he's like, "I seen him."
Oh yeah, right.
You're here for some marijuana. Oh. So I think that just plays off. It's hilarious, you know. So that's probably and it's so out of place because you're used to seeing him as you know America's dad. You know, at that especially at that time, it's not too much. You know, far removed.
House like legit just ended the year before that, right?
Right. So it's not like he was doing his stand up where we kind of used to hearing him kind of swear and kind of do some of the other things that he did. You know, before his passing. So I think that really hits you because it's like what you know, it's him, you know, talking about a cocaine addiction in a very funny way. So I just thought that's probably my favorite.
What about you, Nelson? Who would you say? What was one of your favorite cameos in the movie?
I like Willie Nelson because he seems so. I wasn't ready for it at all.
Yeah.
I watched it. I said, "Wait a minute, hey, that's Willie Nelson." So that kind of threw me off. And then how he was just so candid. He was like right in character. And they say, "Oh, we don't wear condoms." So like that. And then I would say a close second is the Bob Saget one.
Yeah, I also like
the way who sucks dick when they're on weed.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I like when he's behind everybody, like from the porch, and he just kind of comes up, and it looks like he's like on some sort of platform that's lifting him up, and then he just keeps getting taller. He's like, "Oh man," he comes out of nowhere. So I just stopped smoking yesterday. Like that's a great one-liner also in the cameos. So it's pretty good stuff.
Wait, is that Bob Saget? He was going up?
No. It's like Snoop.
Oh, Snoop.
Snoop.
Yeah, he kind of comes like they're both smoking on some steps, like on a porch.
I remember the steps.
Yeah, and it's like if you go back and see that scene, like Snoop, like he comes out of nowhere, like he kind of rises up. It looks like he's on a platform that's lifting it, or the way he gets up, it's crazy. But he kind of just creeps up out of nowhere. And you're like, whoa! This scavenger kind of popped up. If you pay attention, it looks like
I thought he hopped over
he does.
Side railing.
He just keeps getting taller though in that scene. It just seems kind of awkward. Like, is he? Or maybe he's just really tall, right? Like he comes out of nowhere and he keeps rising, and then he fully stands up and throws his leg over and steals their weed or whatever, and he starts. And then the way he smokes it, he basically smokes the whole thing. By the time you give it back to him, it's a little roach. He's like, "Oh, it's too bad. I just stopped smoking yesterday."
Oh, that right. Yeah, I remember that part. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But I just love the way he entered the scene. It's like, what is that? And to me, it just looked like almost mechanical, but smooth at the same time. It was very weird. But kudos to him, however they did that.
Man, I honestly missed that nuance, I guess.
It's very smooth. It's like a Michael Jackson-esque or something. I have no idea, but
A smooth criminal, right?
yeah, exactly. It's like because you can't tell what's going on. It's like, oh, there's something moving in the background, and it's like, oh, it's a person. It's like, holy shit, and then it's like, whoa, it's Snoop Dogg. So
Oh,
I just like the way he makes that entrance to that cameo.
So classic. So classic. And yeah, I mean, if you guys are taking those ones off the board, it's probably going to be Tommy Chong for me after that. I mean, it's funny. Just Brian's his bitch and Squirrel Master just whooping Nasty Nate's ass.
Nasty Nate, that guy's crazy.
Classic characters. And okay, so now let's round robin this again to Nelly Nell. You can go first. So the rating system that we do, for those who don't know, you're buying the movie, you are doing a 5-day rental, a 2-day rental, or a same-day rental. A 2-day rental means it's all right. Same-day rental means it sucks. I'll buy it means it's great. 5-day rental means you got to watch it a couple times. Means you really, really like it. And what are you giving this one, Nelson?
Oh, I do easily a 5-day rental.
Okay.
Is it one of them an ownership? Or there's 4 categories?
Yeah, you can buy the movie as well.
So that'd be like number 4 choice? 4th choice?
Yeah.
Um,
Be second from the top. So buying it means you love it. I'd say 5-day rental means you really, really like it. 2-day rental means it's all right. Same-day rental means it sucks.
I do a 5-day rental. I'd almost buy it, but it's like I'm borderline on that one with buying it. I think I'd buy it because you can just watch it back. I think I'd buy it actually.
Yeah, I'm putting this in the context of like the olden days where you can't stream the whatever it is anymore. So I need to purchase this for home entertainment purposes. So
Yeah.
I think I'm buying this. It's not a 5-day rental for me. Although I was known back in the day to like rent stuff and then like pirate it. So what's the time for that has already passed. So it's not like the FBI can go back and get me for that or anything. But just
I did.
We got 2 buyers here. 2
movie. I got
buyers.
it right here on my desk.
I would, yeah.
You'll buy it over again.
I would purchase, like I said, and I went back to watch that clip that I was talking about with Snoop Dogg. He's definitely on like something because it takes him 6 seconds to stand up, and it looks really crazy. And I was like, oh man, this is yeah, it's like a good while. Like I think he's standing up tall, and then he still kind of climbs up over it for a bit, and then he puts his foot on. So he's definitely on something, like a little platform. But that it's hilarious. I was like, holy shit, why did he keep rising up? Just a small thing that always freaked me out.
Okay, I'm checking it out. Snoop Dogg scene, huh?
Yeah. What the hell?
Real classic, though.
It's weird that they would do that. I think that they did that on purpose,
Like subconsciously, he's high, I guess, right?
Like he's almost floating, like But anyhow, I thought that was just something.
That when they critique. So how good is this marijuana? Like how high do you float?
Yeah.
He's coming down. He sits down. This is after he sits down, right?
No, it's before he sits down. It's like when he comes out from behind the railing.
Yeah.
So like he's rising up and he stands up and then he keeps rising up for like beats.
Oh yeah, I never noticed that.
So he's definitely like, I feel like instead of just standing up and stepping over it, he's on something that continues to rise. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Man, you have a good eye for that.
I don't know why they did that. Like I noticed that right away, like the first time I watched it, and I was like, that's tripped out. Like I was like, look at this guy. And to me, it gave me the essence of like, yeah, he came out of nowhere real sneaky. You know what I mean? There's nothing you can do about it. So I don't know if they did that on purpose or not, but if they did, that's kind of what it made me feel like.
And Nelly
said that he stood up, but he didn't. Yeah. Huh?
And you were right about it being, filmed in a bunch of Toronto. What were some of the spots that you remember seeing? Do you remember where they were? Like
Yeah, yeah.
what
The
movie
spot
was
where
it?
he feeds the horse,
Okay.
the diabetic horse.
Okay.
Right before that, you'll see Sam the Record Man. You see the big red lights. It says Sam.
Okay.
That was a big fixture in Toronto. He was in a lot of TV shows and stuff. Even before, even when I was a kid living in different parts of Canada, you'd
Okay.
see shows that were shot downtown Toronto. You'd see that thing, Sam the Record Man. So it was like an iconic spot in Toronto that everyone in Canada knew about. I don't think it's there anymore. I haven't been back in Toronto since 2007. But but everybody knows that iconic spot.
Okay.
And then even he's where he it goes in tighter where he's feeding the horse. If you look at the back, it's orange and white checkered kind of.
Uh-huh.
It looks and that's I think that's a pizza joint or it's something that I've seen before that I've walked by there. And that's just on the main drag of Yonge Street, which goes right down the middle of Toronto. I lived right off of that street, but uptown though.
Okay.
Cool.
Was
And then
there
my
any other? What was there any other? So it was exterior scenes that were
yeah,
happening.
it's that scene, and then there's a scene where they're breaking into to get the weed when they're breaking
Yeah.
in, the three of them.
Yeah.
They're on the rooftop.
Yeah.
They're down in town. Those buildings, I recognize those skyscrapers actually too, because I've been down there too, but I've also shot commercials and shows down there.
Okay.
And they're on that top building, and there's a skyscraper that's white called the Bank of Montreal, and that was in the background. I recognize that.
Okay.
And then the dark ones are right beside, and they're like right behind them. So I know where they shot that too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And
So
any
yeah,
other any
And
other
that's
ones
it.
you can think of?
It looked like that nightclub scene. I might have been in that nightclub at one time. Looked kind of familiar, but I'm not sure which one.
Okay. And what's the reason why a movie would like a movie crew would go film in Toronto versus doing it 100% in New York?
Oh, because you get tax cuts and tax breaks.
Okay.
So the production out of Hollywood, because I was out of Hollywood, right? There's a Hollywood film shot in New York and in Toronto. Now I don't know. It never gave any credits to New York. I think they used. I think what Bogey said B-roll.
yeah, maybe because it's just like the dog flying.
Yeah, the dog flying, and then there was a couple background shots in Times Square. Remember the Times Square, but it was like it was superimposed, right?
Yeah, and I know like the spot with like where you could see the bridge and stuff, and it's like that iconic like New York
I think
spot with the bridge.
they kind of put that behind them, right?
I think they just made
I don't even think anybody was there when they were actually doing it. It just said like, and I think it was just panning. It's like we all live here in New York, and it kind of just showed that little.
Yeah, there's never any actors.
Oh, right.
So
Yeah, no one was even there. It was just like the shot of that area.
So that's the B-roll that Bogey was talking about, right?
so
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you watch closely, you can tell when they're doing it. But if you're just watching film, you really wouldn't know.
your brain just puts it together like no problem.
Yeah. So yeah, and that's because Toronto can look like New York if you go in tighter, like the buildings and stuff. But LA, there's nowhere here in LA that you can that looks like New York.
Right.
Like there's nothing, right? You watch all these like Encino Man, you watch all these Poltergeist, you watch all these movies done in LA. It looks like very suburban.
Right. For
Right.
sure. Well, what do you got? Might be a good time to wrap this up, and I guess we never got Bogey's ratings.
It's I mean, I gotta give it its own rating. I gotta give it the 420 out of 420. You know?
420, 420. Happy 420.
So this is one that you're buying, then, right?
Mm-hmm. Or like,
Yeah, we already bought it.
This is definitely one I bought for the homie, and I have it until he asked for it back. He was hella mad. Been like 2 years.
Well, let's go ahead and wrap this up and remind everybody. Make sure you subscribe to the Silver Screen Breakdown YouTube channel.
Please do.
Silver Screen Breakdown podcast on Apple, Spotify, everywhere else that you get podcasts. And Peacock, why don't you let them know where to find you and all your gear?
Oh yeah, cool. Go ahead and check out the right there at the bottom of the screen, neonpeacock.threadless.com. I'm reorganizing my website, but I got a whole bunch of cool designs up there, from fantasy football to some of my more abstract stuff to like retro space things. And you can find T-shirts, mouse pads, the whole deal, the whole lot. I got some stuff from Bogart Scott Free up there. I have a couple of other ideas from like our main man Spencer the Guru, another affiliate from our channel. So go check us out. Go check that out and grab yourself some merch. You know, you don't or not. You know, just browse to the gallery. You know, and take a look and see if there's anything you like. But definitely do me a favor and just go visit the website and check that out.
Yeah.
Nelly, now remind everybody where to find you at and where to follow you at.
Yeah, Nelson Tynes. Nell's my nickname, by the way. I've had that for a while. Instagram, just put my name in, you'll find me there. And there I have some of my food, some acting. Not much acting work, but just like some stills and stuff. But if you want to see my work in progress, not the work in progress, work done, my films and commercials and stuff, and montages and my demo reels on YouTube. Just Nelson Tynes, and
look out for the new film, right?
And please subscribe too. Yeah, and I'm working on a new one just being edited. It's one short film, another short film we just shot the first day on Tuesday, called A Party Story. So we'll see how that finishes up, because one thing to start and another thing to finish. But we did two already.
Nice.
So yeah, please subscribe. I'll get maybe 10, 11 subscribers. I don't have a lot yet.
Yeah, I gotta do that.
On YouTube, I've got quite a few on Instagram. I'm over 1,000. What's that, Peacock?
I gotta do that. I'll find you. I gotta subscribe.
Yeah, I'll find you too. You on YouTube as well, or Instagram?
I'm not on YouTube. You don't. Well, I mean, I am, but I don't have like any channels going. I just hop on here and there with Hustlers Network and with Bogart as well.
Okay. Yeah, you'll find me. Just put my name in there. It'll come up. That'd be great.
Appreciate all you guys rocking with us on the live, and go subscribe to the podcast. Again, we appreciate you, and we'll see you guys next week, next Friday, 8 Eastern time, 5 West Coast time, and we're breaking down Drop Dead Fred. Another good one. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, nice meeting you, Peacock.
Peace out.
All right, see you guys.
Picture shit. This ain't a dream, we really live this shit. Don't intervene, yo, we with this shit. That's where the most high, we the most lit.